All right. That's good. The battery's at 62%, so at least it's charged back up a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday night on this July 21st evening, 2023. And it is 9:38 p.m. Open Chat Friday. We're just going to chat a little bit. I had a very long day. I went to protest again down in St. Paul, Minnesota. And a long drive down there, and then I protested from 11 till 4:30 when they closed. And then it was a long drive home. But, so anyway, it was like an 11-hour day. Let me see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 10 to 11 hours. So anyway, I'm beat tired. But I protested today at State Farm again, protesting my claim and exercising my First Amendment right. And they did try to trespass me off the property. And I told the police that they really need to think about this because they're trying to trespass me off of property that they don't own, and you can't do that. It's violating my civil rights, and I could have a civil lawsuit against the city of Maplewood if you do that. And the police said, all right, well, he went and checked, and took him a long time. He came out and said, yep, you're right, this is not their property. It was a very weird situation because it's a city street that goes through a private property, which is the most bizarre thing. The police said that's as bizarre because they looked and it is a city street that goes through somebody's private property, which is weird. So who owns it? Who has the right? Well, I'll tell you what, State Farm didn't have, no matter who it is, it's not State Farm. They neither own it. It's either the city property or it is the other people's property, but either way, it's not theirs. So they tried to formally trespass me, and I put a stop to it because I had already checked. And I knew I wasn't on their property. And the police took about a half an hour to check, and when he came back out, he had to take the trespass order back from the guy at the State Farm. He brought out. So the police came out with the guy from State Farm, and he told the guy, go ahead, and the guy formally trespassed me. And I told the police, he can't do this. You cannot trespass me off of somebody else's property. He doesn't own this sidewalk. No more than I can. If you had a sidewalk going through your front yard, can you imagine trespassing people that walk on the city sidewalk through your yard? I mean, when the city owns something, you don't have a right to it. And so anyway, he had to tell them that actually I can't trespass her. So that was a little victory. You know, I'm winning a little bit of battles, but I haven't won the war. So far, I'm still just fighting. I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm not going to not do nothing. And the police said, yeah, it's good that you're protesting. He said, you know, in some countries, you're not allowed. I said, I know. In fact, some countries, you'll be killed for protesting. He said, you're right. I said, so I absolutely appreciate my First Amendment right to protest, and I also appreciate the police for protecting me from people trying to trespass me from other people's property. So anyway, the police were very nice, very professional. Listened to what I had to say, and he went and checked. He wasn't a fool. The police went and checked, and I was right. This was not their property. They almost trespassed me off of somebody else's property, and I told them, if you do that, I would have a civil lawsuit, First Amendment violation against the city of Maplewood, I'd have a very large lawsuit. You cannot trespass me and violate my First Amendment right to protest when I'm on somebody else's property, not yours. I can't go over to somebody else's property and trespass them, start trespassing people off of other people's property. It doesn't work like that. So anyway, almost got formally trespassed. The police were ready to do it. And anyway, if I'd not known the boundaries or not checked in, done my homework, I would have just left. I would have thought that they were right, and I would have thought there's nothing I can do. But I knew my rights and I know the boundaries. And anyway, we all learned a lesson. We all learned that there's a street that goes through somebody's private property, which is very bizarre. So if the person that owns that private property wants to trespass me, they can do it, but they have nothing to do with State Farm. So I don't know if they'll do that or not. So anyway, they really have nothing to do with it. So anyway, a very long day talking in a speaker, and I got rained out about 3 o'clock. And then I went and did something, ran to somebody's house, and when I came back, it had stopped raining, so I got back out, and that's when the police tried to formally trespass me. And then I was still there like another hour, so I was there. Even after it rained, I got soaked, head to toe, soaked like a drowned rat. And all I was worried about was saving my sign. The sign was getting wrecked. So I had a very long day, got up early. I think I'm going to go to bed early, tired. So if nobody wants to come in and chat, I think when I get to 10 minutes, if nobody comes in, I'll just call it a night. Ouch. A dog just stomped my foot there, my bare foot, with its claws, bear claws. Anyway, so yeah, it was a long day. Not fun, not something I want to be doing. I'd rather be in my garden or picking raspberries or something cool at home. And I'd rather be parking in my 2-car garage rather than fighting over a claim that they denied. So anyway, not fun, but it is necessary. So anyway, it's been exhausting. I have an open chat. If anybody came on, I would invite them up to chat, but it doesn't look like anybody's coming in. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. Wait, cotton picking second. I gotta find there it is, my remote. Mute my thing. I'm gonna pull up my chat real quick. All right. There it is. All right. Well, I can see it's up and running. So anyway, yeah, if I hit 10 minutes and nobody comes in, I do want to say, though, please keep Grace in your prayers. There had some, she could use prayers. They had a tragedy in the family. So, as always, when you say a prayer tonight, please say a prayer for her and her family, all the family. And anyway, it's just always a sad thing. So our hearts are with her and her family, and just sad, very sad. But anyway, life is fragile, and really got to enjoy every day. You know what I'm saying? Not take it for granted. But anyway, yep, I protested all day today down in St. Paul. So. And boy, am I tired. Yep, downpoured, got me drenched, and I just brushed my hair, and I got interviewed by somebody today I called the news station yesterday and gave them a tip that I was going to be out there. And somebody from some news station came out. It wasn't from Channel 11. I don't know where they're from. I don't really care. I interviewed. He gave me a microphone to clip on my shirt, and he did an interview with me. And then he went into State Farm, and he asked them if they had anything they want to comment, and they told him, "Get out." That was funny. And when he came out, I said, "How'd you do it?" And he said, "They threw me out. They said, get out." The guy had a microphone with those four sides on it. You know what I mean? He was from some news station. That was funny. State Farm threw him out. That was funny. That was when the police was there too. The police was out in the vehicle trying to find out who owns the property, and the reporter went in there and they threw him out. That was funny. And a couple good times today. Somebody offered to buy me lunch, and then the next person walked up with a very large burrito from a restaurant. So it was really nice, expensive burrito. So I took it. I took a few bites on the way home. It was good. Some lady gave it to me. Oh, and then the people that own the nail salon next to State Farm, they came over and brought me water and say, "You go, girl." They're next door neighbors. It was a few fun times today. Anyway, very nice people, wonderful crowd. So much support. Lots of other people got ripped off by State Farm, so I had a lot of support. I think they ripped off like half the town, it seemed, by the cheers I got from everybody. So it was fun. I recorded it. This time, instead of recording it from my vehicle from far away, I wanted to get the conversation, so I recorded it from up front. Oh, the wildcats don't know where the food is. They're coming up by my house. I moved the wildcats' food because they got fleas, and I don't want them up by my house. So I moved it a little bit at a time, and they got confused. I don't think they know where it is. They're back looking at my front door here. But anyway, that was today. Long day. I got up very early to alarm clock and drove about an hour and a half to get there. And anyway, protested all day. Got drowned in the rain. I was just trying to save my sign. I threw my sign underneath my pickup truck where it was dry, and then tried to cram it in the cab of my truck, and it didn't fit. So I threw it back under the truck and tried to figure out what I should do. And then I took it apart and crammed it back in the truck, and I had to crawl in there with the sign all over the place. Anyway, and then once the rain stopped, I went back and started going again. And then the police showed up and they tried to formally trespass me. And then after explaining to them, I'm not on their property. Anyway, after like a half hour, they said, "Yep." And so the owner comes out with the police, and the police said, the owner has something to tell you. Go ahead." And he said, "You are now trespassed from this property. We don't want you on here anymore. You have to leave. You're trespassed." And I told the police, he can't do that. He can't trespass me off of somebody else's property. Now you're violating my civil rights, because now you're violating my First Amendment right to protest. And if you trespass me during a protest off of public property, it's either public property or somebody else's. Either way, it's not his. He can't trespass me off of somebody else's property. And after like a half an hour check-in, the police came back and said, "You're right, this is not their property." So unless the people who own the other side of the road want to protest me, trespass me, that's up to them. But yeah, State Farm has no right to trespass me. So anyway, that was a not fun. But anyway, I stood up for my rights, and then some more professional protesters, I don't know what they do. They're very young, like in their 20s. And they wanted to know my story. There was 5 of them, young guys, looked like college kids. And then they said that they do protesting too. And then they said, "Oh, I hate when people try to trespass." Because the police were already there before, and the police came back again. Police were there like on and off all day, and then they finally tried to trespass me. And they said, "Yep, they can't do that anyway." I had just so much support from everybody. Like I said, 2 people offered lunch. 1 person brought me water. Their next door neighbor brought me water. It was really nice. So I don't know if it's going to do any good. I don't know, but I do have a right to protest, and I'm just exercising my rights, and I have no other alternative other than to look at a collapsed garage in my yard for the rest of my life. I just paid $3,000 for an attorney that wasn't going to get a penny because State Farm is off the hook at 2 years. They can no longer be sued after 2 years, and my next door neighbor is a penniless single man who's 90 years old. Doesn't have money and never will. So I have no chance of collecting from the neighbor after paying $3,000 to a lawyer. So one dead end after another. I've been bleeding money from this whole crap fest I've been in the State Farm. So I don't know. I'm not happy with them, and now they're not happy with me either. That's, I guess, how it is. Anyway, you know what I just saw up in my feed here? It says the evil history of fluoride, and they show a child pounding down a Yahoo Mountain Dew or something like that. Or I'll show you. And it's on a channel called Evil Food Supply. I'll show you. If it'll reach. Yeah, I'll plug it. There you go. The evil history of fluoride. Why fluoride is everywhere. And then the next one. The 40th birthday stream requesting to ask. Oh, Jamachi effect. Oh, it's Zach Hubbard's birthday. I forgot. Today's his 40th birthday. That must have been him as a kid. Speaking of no fluoride. Yeah. And Tony Bennett died today. I guess he did a stream on that today. I guess I didn't watch any YouTube. I had like a record number of notifications when I came home. So I didn't check out YouTube since yesterday. So anyway, so all right, well, I will wrap it up and get off of here. Evil history of fluoride. That's interesting. Yep. The kid's eyes are glowing red. That's not even funny. Anyway, all right, guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up and get off of here. Doesn't look like there's nobody out looking for some conversation, so I'm gonna wrap it up and probably hit the hay. So anyway, remember to keep Grace in your prayers, and her family, the family, and her. And anyway, thanks for listening. Good night, everybody, and thanks for listening.